everyone. Okay, so this is my first video after that brief introduction video that I did, and I will be doing some soft-speaking gameplay for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which is a game that I've been thoroughly enjoying these past couple of weeks. I'm hoping that the combination of the visual aesthetic for the game mixed with soft speaking and the sounds of, the button controls for the game will qualify enough as being ASMR worthy. To give a little context, I've already completed the main story campaign for this game, which just leaves the open world with side missions and other little side activities to do. And in fact, I've already completed all the side missions as they're labeled, which means just little extra activities are all that's left. But I figure with this video I'll just be running around exploring the open world and not really focusing on doing any of the activities themselves very much. One thing I've noticed about this game, for better or for worse, a lot of the little side activities, such as that up there is a delivery mission, most likely a fragile delivery mission, those activities tend to be extremely unforgiving in terms of challenge. No, I can't jump through there. I don't know why I thought I could. They're all time-based more than anything else, and very frequently there will be situations where you have to deliver something within a certain period of time and avoid taking any fall damage, because doing so will damage the item that you're delivering. And it's the avoiding taking fall damage part isn't really that difficult, but the timing part is, unfortunately, it is extremely unforgiving. It's so easy to, just barely miss the time or screw something up. Ooh, I thought I could make that, but I think I should have wall run. Yeah, I do apologize if you see a couple of deaths happen while I'm playing. Ooh, I do not know what I was trying to do there. I'm not exactly fantastic at the game. Oh, okay, I don't know why she didn't grab the ledge there, but I tried to jump off after wall running and it didn't work. Okay, I'm not going to let this chasm beat me, sorry, but I am going to keep attempting this until I clear it. Yes, yes. Side mission, something, something. Okay, cool, we made it that time. Totally worth the numerous deaths. Probably, maybe, not really. But, sometimes you just gotta accept the bad with the good or something along those lines, I don't know. Huh. Now, this is kind of an interesting place. Oh, okay. I don't actually remember this location. I might have had to pass through here during one of the story missions earlier. Oh, I'm actually almost 100% certain that I had to do that. Oh, and here's a thing over here for... Oh, crap. Okay. Well, now I feel like an idiot. But I saw one of those things over there for zip lining up, and I assumed that I needed to aim for that. Let's see, what other options are there for getting through here? I can't wall run up that, but I can wall run up this. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. And I can't springboard off of that because it's not three-dimensional, so I don't actually see a way to proceed from here. This is weird. Maybe I was only able to proceed when I was playing the story mission. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way to clear that. So I'm just gonna head back, I guess. I think I saw a couple of other routes along the way. Huh, what was I trying to do going this way? I think probably fall through here and collect some stuff. Yeah, it's a recording. Oh, what? Wait, why was that a death that didn't even let me reach the ground? Oh, hey, wire, if you could refrain from pressing up against the microphone, that would be wonderful. Sorry about that. Okay, so apparently I'm not supposed to jump down there. That actually may have been a much farther fall than it looked. It's not actually that far of a fall. Or at least it doesn't appear to be, but apparently it was enough to kill me, so I'm just gonna go back up. Oh, hey. Always good when I find one of those. Grid leaks. There are a bunch of little tiny collectibles to be found throughout the open world, as to be expected with most open world games. There are recordings, as you saw before. There are documents, which are for reading instead of listening to, obviously. And both of those sort of flesh out the story a little bit more. There are electronic parts to be gathered from interacting with certain consoles that appear in the open world. There are the grid leaks, and there are also secret bags to be found, which the secret bags were actually a thing in the first Mirror's Edge game, though the first Mirror's Edge was pretty different in a lot of ways from this game. The control scheme, for example, I think was pretty drastically different, though the more streamlined controls that they implemented for this version are actually quite useful, all in all. They help the game flow a little bit better, and they don't really detract from making you feel like you've mastered the system when you start doing stuff well. Not that I would know anything about that, since I'm actually pretty awful at this game, I think. Yeah, I just ran up the side of a glass wall. Jeez. Okay, let's just find somewhere else to go. Guess I'm ziplining back over here again. I know I just came this way like 10 seconds ago, but instead of going through there, let's take this route. See where this leads us. Huh. Neat. I've already opened that one. Huh. A lot of little winding trails here. They're here, and back out here, and we're back on the rooftops. One of the cool things about the setting for Mirror's Edge, which the city is called Glass in this one, is how they utilize all of the buildings looking so sleek and polished and clean and perfect, and how that sort of plays into the story of the game. But more than that, it just sort of contributes a lot to the aesthetic and feel as you're exploring, because it's all really pretty and it works well. It doesn't have any of the gritty realism that a lot of developers try to implement with how they texture and design settings for games. I don't know, I like this. It's refreshing and pleasant to play, which I felt would contribute it to having more of an ASMR mood to it and just general pleasantness than if I were, I don't know, playing something more thematically aggressive. Okay, so I have been spotted by Krugersack. They appear to be on the floor right above me, and I guess I can get up there by this staircase. I'm going to go ahead and face them head on, just for the fun of it. But I'll end up having to run away from them. Oh! So there is combat in these games, which I admit that is a lot less ASMR friendly when you think about it, but I won't be staying in the combat for long. I just wanted to play around with it for a second. And now we're gonna go on a run for the nearest safe house, which I actually was just in said safe house that it's leading me towards, so it won't take long to get there. Nice try, guys. Ha ha ha. Right. And once we make it in the safe house, Krugersack will back off. I may have to actually jump up here. There we go. There are safe houses located throughout the open city, which serve as a safe spot to escape from Krugersack whenever they identify you, as well as fast travel points so that you can get around the map quickly. And this is what the open world map looks like. Now, don't let the size of the map fool you. You don't actually have access to all of this area. The only area that's actually explorable area within the game is this area where you can see all these icons littered. Everything else is just there for, you know, visual aesthetic and to imply the actual size of glass. Too bad they didn't actually give access to the rest of the city, because it would have been nice to have a bit more area to explore, but it happens. Anyway, I'm going to set a waypoint for the lair, because I want to run over there and grab that runner kit real quick. But I'm setting a waypoint instead of fast traveling because I'd rather run the way as opposed to just teleporting. Because as useful as the fast travel can be when you're trying to get things done quickly, I feel like the majority of the appeal to this game comes from the traversal with how you get around, and if you sort of cheat yourself out of that by teleporting, it, I don't know, hurts the experience of the game a bit. And you may notice that there's this red trail leading me around. That is referred to as runner vision, and it's a function that existed in the first Mirror's Edge but worked a little differently. Oh darn, I actually should have springboarded off of one of those platforms instead of just doing the regular jump. My mistake. In the first Mirror's Edge, runner's vision just highlighted objects that you could run on in red, which was a Okay, why didn't she springboard? There's a lot of little frustrating things like that in this game where sometimes the game... Oh, gosh. Okay, so I'm actually starting to get a little bit irritated with this zip line. Where the game seems like it would do a certain thing at a certain spot and then it just doesn't. Sometimes the controls either don't respond the way they're supposed to, or stuff just turns out to not be what you expected it to be. In this case, it finally worked. I just needed to jump from the exact correct spot, which is a little frustrating, but just one of those things you have to accept. But anyway, they expanded on the runner vision function in this title by adding an actual little red trail to guide your path, along with highlighting surfaces and objects that you can run on. Okay, why am I having so much trouble pulling that off? I normally don't. I think I needed to be a little bit closer, so my mistake. Okay, so here we go. I'm sorry for being kind of rubbish at this. I have been practicing at it to some degree, but sometimes I still just sort of screw stuff up when I don't mean to. Oh, gonna have to run past some Kruger set guys over here. Alright. Gotta move. Fortunately, with the open world, you don't have to engage Kruger Sec if you don't want to. You can just sort of run right past them. And there are even certain ways you can use the attack buttons where instead of just stopping and fighting them, you'll do this sort of push past attack where you end up sort of pushing them to the side before proceeding on your way, which is really helpful, but really only works when you're running around the open world. In most cases with the story missions, you do have to stop and fight. They expect you to actually finish them off. And I feel like even though they improved the combat from the first game, which in the first game it was really not very well implemented, and the addition of making guns accessible to Faith especially hurt the gameplay, because there were points in the game where if you didn't pick up a gun, you were basically screwed. But they definitely improved from that with this title, but it's still not the best thing about the game. And whenever a major combat segment came up during the story mission, it was always just kind of a groan moment for me, because I had to be like, I gotta get past this before I can go back to the fun part. But I mean, it's still a really pleasant experience for what it is. I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I still am to a degree, because now I just have the entire world opened up and all of Faith's upgrades available, so that I can just run as much as I like and not really have to worry about doing anything else unless I want to. Alright, so I stopped by the lair and I grabbed the runner kit. Runner kits are a thing that you unlock as a reward for completing certain objectives and activities in the game. So all of those collectibles I was talking about in the open world, the only real reward for gathering those collectibles is the runner kits. And what the runner kits provide you with are the various appearances for the runner ghost that you can have leading you around, which I've actually not really used my runner ghost at all. Oh, it's referred to as an echo, sorry. You can unlock a bunch of different little textures to apply to the echo, which this is the one I'm currently using because I think it It's the only one out of them that doesn't look kind of awful. But honestly, I don't even know how to turn the echo on. I've never had the need for it in game. Let's see. Options, gameplay, runner's vision, user generated content, runner's vision, off, classic. Okay, it does not at all show an option for turning the echo on, so maybe the echo only appears when I'm doing time trials, or maybe it appears when I create my own time trial for other people. There is a multiplayer element in the game where you can create your own time trials, sort of. I haven't really tested out that function, as honestly the time trials are one of the least appealing elements of the game for me, and thus I just don't mess with them much. But I guess probably that's what the echoes end up getting used for more than anything else, which is fine. The other thing that you unlock is related to your runner tag, which appears whenever you hack screens in the game, such as large billboards or small screens inside the safe houses. But the weird thing is you can only edit your runner tag by going to the EA Mirror's Edge website, which I do not see why that would have been necessary to do that. It could have been so easily made available in the game itself to be edited. So there was some sort of weird decision making going on there. But it doesn't really matter all that much. It doesn't especially bother me, as again I do not really use that function of the game all that much. I went on their website once to edit my runner tag to something that I found satisfactory, and then I left it that way for the rest of the game. I don't think there's anything else to be found that way. I just found another way up onto... Oh, Krugersec spawned over there after I came this way. Actually, instead of engaging them head on there, perhaps I can go up this way and give myself an edge. So check this out. Haha! So there are these traversal attacks that you can use. Which deal a lot more damage and keep you moving a lot more easily than standard methods. Which are great for dealing with Krugersec when you choose to deal with them. Which again, I was really just doing that for fun more than anything else. I am out of sight, game. That helicopter can't see me. So now we're just going to run for it and hope for the best. Aha is now directing me towards a different safe house. That's cool. Ooh. They just threw them right out at me like that. Basically, anywhere where there's a door that is not accessible to Faith, they can spawn Krugersec from those doors and have them just bolt out. Which is their way of ensuring that you put some effort into it when you try to run from them. Ooh, now the helicopter is shooting at me. That's interesting. Ooh, I should have springboarded there. Would have made that easier for me. and escaped. So here's an example of what I was talking about with hacking the screen. As you can see, there's multiple layers to the runner tag. As when you move and shift your perspective, you can see them kind of move with your vision. That's kind of neat looking, but again, it's really strange that they don't give you the option to edit it from within the game. I feel like probably the addition of the Kruger-Seg segments has not made this particularly pleasant to watch. In fact, those shots might have been a bit too loud for the video. I hope not. I'll go back and check this footage, and if it is too bad, then I'll just either cut those parts out or make a whole new recording. Fortunately, recording this footage really isn't that time consuming. It's definitely an easier process than scripting a role play and recording that, and I can't believe I just did that. Ooh, wow. That was a little bit embarrassing. Okay, so we'll try this again. Let's see, where do I want to go from here? Oh, there's some stuff this way. But it would require being a little careful. Here, let's do this. Take the zip line. There we go. Yay, it worked. Oh, we can keep going this way. God, I love the amount of exploration that there is in this game. I know I was complaining about the world size a little bit earlier, but the fact of the matter is this game is still just beautiful. Really, really well designed. Huh. Oh, this is actually the way up to see this guy. This guy is actually related to the story missions that you do earlier in the game, and then he ends up being pretty irrelevant afterwards. And he was just referencing the fact that one of the last missions in the game involves climbing to the top of a very, very tall building called the Shard, which is the primary I don't know, I guess central base for Gabriel Kruger, the guy in charge of Kruger-Seg. And I keep mentioning Kruger-Seg, but I haven't really explained that to any degree, so I guess I should probably say something about it. Kruger-Seg is basically the Mirror's Edge equivalent of what the I guess a dystopian police force. Oh, wait a minute, this is the place that I ran to before when I started a fight with the Kruger-Seg over there. Okay, I guess I should try to take a different route, but instead of being a government funded and controlled organization, they are crap. I ended up triggering that camera. They are operated by the families, and specifically this man, Gabriel Kruger. And it's, I don't know, I mean, it's just kind of there specifically for the purpose of having an added challenge and threat involved in the gameplay. Oh, wait a minute, this is the way that came before when I was running from Kruger Sec. Oh well. I think I ended up going that way instead of going this way. So this time I'll take this route. Honestly, I think I've probably wandered around to the fullest extent that I feel like doing right now. Well, no, I think there is one other thing that I'd like to show in this video before I wrap it up. There is this one location in the game called Ocean Pier. It's actually, I guess, what's supposed to be thought of as the really high-class district of the City of Glass, where all the wealthiest people live. And I think this building right here that it's sort of clipping the camera through is supposed to be the Shard. Anansi. Maybe it's not the Shard. Maybe the Shard is what was located out here. I am not 100% certain. But anyway, I'm going to run out to one of our safe houses in Ocean Pier, just so I can show you what that area looks like, because it is stunning. When I first unlocked that area in the game, I almost broke down crying looking at it because it was just so beautiful. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous to say, like a exaggeration, but I'm not kidding. I was like just stunned at the sight of it. And that may just be my own aesthetic sense making me respond to it that way, but I personally thought it was just probably one of the nicest things I've seen in a video game in a very, very long time. So I'll just run out there real quick and look around a little bit, and then we'll wrap this up. And I hope this video ends up being enjoyable for somebody out there. I'm sorry if it's not much in terms of well thought out ASMR content, but I am currently working on a scripted roleplay video, which I'm hoping I will have up and available tomorrow after this video. It was originally what I planned to have uploaded for today, but while I was working on the script, I just got sort of, well, I briefly mentioned in the introduction for the new channel that there was some stuff going on that had me in a less than positive state of mind, and something happened earlier at night that just kind of, I don't know, put me back there. So I was feeling a little less creative and more like I just wanted to do something pleasant to zone out for this video. So I promise I'll be putting a bit more effort in with future content, but this is just something that I was eventually wanting to do anyway, so I hope it turns out all right as is. Okay. So, just pointing out one little detail, the area that I was running in for the past like 20 minutes or so, you may have noticed was pretty consistently white and opaque in design. And now we've moved on to this area that's very blue and neon themed. And different areas of the game each have their own like visual themes to them that are pretty consistent for the architecture. Architecture? Architecture. I don't know, I'm having trouble saying words. And it's kind of interesting to see how entering different districts just completely alters the visuals of the game, pretty drastically even. And you'll see it again when we get to Ocean Pier, which I'm excited to get over there because it is so cool. And it should be there in just a couple of minutes. Huh. Oh, I aimed that not very well. There's a way to do that a little better. There we go. It's very bright. Oh, and another thing, the whole opaque, like white and red for that district that we were in before this one is actually the way the game consistently looked in the first Mirror's Edge. So it's kind of like this reminder of what Mirror's Edge was, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting to me, at least, because I did enjoy the first Mirror's Edge game despite its flaws. Ah, I should probably just go this way. Save myself some trouble with that. And another thing that I should clarify. Ooh, that was close. I should have done the springboard jump. Another thing I should clarify. The first Mirror's Edge came out pretty early in the last generation's lifespan, during the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 generations, and it was a fairly polarizing game for what it was. Different people felt differently about it, but one of the consistent things that people said was, despite its flaws, it was really cool that a company like EA would allow DICE to make something as experimental and risky as Mirror's Edge was. And they really did take a risk with it, and I don't think it saw the returns that EA perhaps hoped for, but after a lot of convincing from DICE and from the cult following that the game had garnered, they eventually agreed to support DICE in making a second game. But instead of making a sequel to the first Mirror's Edge, DICE decided to reboot the franchise after just one game, so I guess you can't really call it a franchise. So this is sort of an origin story for the character Faith, in a way, but it's not the same Faith that was in the first Mirror's Edge. It's certain things about it are the same, and certain things about it are pretty drastically different. But it's still, I mean, I can't really complain about that part of it because I hadn't, found the story of the first Mirror's Edge to be so deeply compelling that I was invested in it and wanted to keep seeing that story continued. I just liked Mirror's Edge for its aesthetic and gameplay, and that's what they brought with this title. By the way, I've actually been in Ocean Pier for a couple of minutes now, and I haven't been talking about it. But if you were paying attention when I transitioned over into this new area, the game has become very, would the appropriate term be Pan-Asian in terms of aesthetic? I'm not sure if that's how you would describe the visual style, but there's a lot of cherry blossom trees and just really interesting furniture, and it's actually really pretty out here. I really loved it when I first found this district, when they first transitioned me over here for the story missions, and it is just, it is so beautiful. It's a little more evident in its aesthetic during the daytime, which I haven't really gotten a good sense for how the day and night cycle works in this game. However it works very, very slowly. But during the daytime, you can just see all of the colors that were brought in for this district, and it is so attractive. Like, just look at this stuff, all of these little details. You get to see what the inside of these people's homes look like, and it's wow. I don't know, maybe I'm easily impressed, but I can tell they really did put a lot of work into this game, and I absolutely love it for what they managed to do with it. Anyway, I should run up to that safe house now, because the map's been trying to direct me over to it, even though I've been deliberately stopping and roaming around. So this is another one of our safe houses, and get a little bit of a view from here of the place. And one of the things about Ocean Pier is the fact that it is located next to the Gulf, the shoreline, so that you can see water out there, which again, it's not very visible during the nighttime, unfortunately. But ooh, that was fun. Ooh, this room is really nicely lit. I like this. So I'm just gonna wander around a little bit before I wrap things up here. They somehow detected me despite me being way far off from where they were. Hold on now. That's just rude. Ooh. Oh, I don't think he survived that. Oh my gosh. That is kind of horrifying. I just murdered a person. Geez, Faith, no wonder they want to arrest you. You are a monster. So anyway, I guess I'm running back over to the same safe house that I just left to get out of sight of Krugersec. Ooh. Oh, hello. You were waiting for me. How very polite. Oh, you feel tough? How you feel now? Down you go. And what did you learn? Don't hit Faith with sticks. She doesn't appreciate it. Okay. Well, we wrapped it up on another combat segment, so I think that's where I'm going to stop the video for now. Again, I really hope that this was at least remotely enjoyable for somebody, and I'll be getting to work on the next scripted roleplay video very soon. So thank you all so much, and have a good night.